struggle. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All peace and power to the people of the struggle. Saturday night. Saturday night. Saturday night. Y'all know what it is. Time for our book club. Salute, Todd. Bottom line, what's good? Salute, salute. You know what it is tonight. It is time for our book club. We had our initial book reading, dialogue, reading / dialogue last week, last Saturday. How's everybody doing? Who was asking that? Todd? The book is. Anybody else want to bring them up to speed? This is the book, Todd. This is the book, the foundation. The foundation. And as I reiterate why that is the foundation, we're waiting for more of our comrades to join in. I'm in Ra. Salute. Assata Shakur, the autobiography of Assata Shakur, Comrade Joanne Chesmard. She, to this very day, is the embodiment and true representation of liberation here on this poor part of the planet, in this corporation that is referring to itself as a country. She fought. She was injured, captured, liberated, and still to this very day fights in the ranks of those who yearn to be liberated globally. So before anyone can join the ranks and do it with a clear head, a clear space, we need to understand through her own words her assessment of everything that she witnessed, experienced, and learned from. So that is the foundation. When people ask me for a book list, this is always the first title. So I said, well, if we're going to digest this book, we need to do it together. Some may be further along in the book. Others may have just received their books. Some ordered them. Some may have them in the shelf and may have read it once or twice. What you will find out is that I read titles over and over and over and over again. I read some of these books more frequently than anything else that I've ever read. So I understand that the education process, especially political education, for many, we arrive at consciousness at different levels and at different times. So the more patience we exercise with each other, um, the better outcome we will have when we do network, organize, and galvanize people, to stand amongst us in this very, very revolutionary war. All right. So as we're waiting, as always, there's always rooms for quick questions and answers. There's always room for dialogue and for expressive thought. Questions are never stupid. Questions are never dumb. Questions are questions. And they are a point of reflection and clarity. So we welcome all to question, answer, add on. What we do, as in anything we do, ask for the utmost respect, graciousness, right, and love when we're dealing with each other. It's not a space for bullshit. Not at all. Not at all. So, again, as we go through it, yes, we are. Salute, salute. Yep. Yep. So if you have your book, there we go, V. Gibb. That's what I'm talking about. My comrade Vincent Gibson, 4 months clean today. We give you the big salute. Big salute. As I always say, whether in large groups or whether I'm with clients one-on-one personally, 90 days in either direction can change your life. 90 days of negativity and regressive thought can change your life. You can be in a grave or incarcerated or a struggling homeless addict, but 90 days in another direction, in the direction of self-love, in the direction of discipline, 90 days, and you can have the world in the palm of your hands. So understand that. That's all it takes. 90 days, you can lose 40, 50 pounds. 90 days, you can clean your blood system. 90 days, you can be exercising frequently and save your life. 90 days, you can learn how to do first responding techniques and save somebody else's life. 90 days, you can learn how to shoot. 90 days, you can get your CDL. 90 days in either direction can either enhance the quality of your life or send you to a grave. So we salute our comrade Vincent Gibson on being 4 months clean of one of the most dangerous and addictive substances on the planet, I might add. We're not talking about alcohol, not talking about gambling or nicotine cigarettes, not even coke. We talking about that thing. So again, all right, I always say it, 90 days can change your life. And of course, 90 days of intense studying, intense research, right, can enhance your ability to lead. So while we're going through these books, and as I said, I had been granted a decade behind the wall to read hundreds of books, right? um, without distraction, without being caught up in the capitalist system where there was work involved, right? Uh, where there was uh, children raising, where there was the daily rigors of trying to sustain and survive in this corporation. So uh, that decade stretched out, allowed me the space and time to absorb all these different books, right? And I don't expect people to be able to do that. This is why we have this space and time, right? To do this, to get everybody engaged and kind of fall back away from the foolishness and the bullshit that social media has become, and have a space where we can really focus, concentrate, right? Get our consciousness awakened, right? Be woke with a purpose, and really give clarity to some of these individuals who have really fought and won. So we know, right? Salute Shah, thank you, Queen. Salute Carol. So we can really analyze the pieces that have been taken away from us, and to show you how far we are removed from those great individuals, especially when we have more tools to work with. And the more we get into it, the more we will see. And I will show you just how far we have fallen off. And any gains that were made were quickly taken away and replaced by the coons, rats, and things of that nature. I'm reading a Robert Greene book on human nature. He says what I think, but not in the sense of his color, but perspective. What do you think? I've read several books by him. He's very well informed, but I don't know his politics, his reasoning, his purpose. But, all information, if it is useful to us, we cannot dismiss it because, and I said this last week, because of a person's color. Do you understand? Because of a person's ethnic makeup. Do not make that mistake. Rebel, what's up? Hey, Dollar. I'm going to say it again and again. We always can get useful information from people. And matter of fact, not can get it, but we need to get it. And as you will see, that if our comrade didn't have others who were not melanated assist her, she wouldn't be liberated to this day. And that's the point that people, especially in this generation, miss. That you have allies. You have genuine allies if you know how to present yourself and speak a specific tone. Are we ready to be in a space where we can be entrusting of those who are not melanated? No, it is very dangerous now because the conditions have shifted so much. But please do not think for a second that all you need is black power. All you need is a black fist. Don't make that mistake. That is a dangerous mistake. Dangerous. Because you have allies that you don't even know about. Allies that watch you. Allies that want to jump in the double dutch rope with you. You dig what I'm saying? You have to be mindful of that. Because there's a lot of melanated deficient people who want to see this shit come crumbling down. trust and believe that. Trust and believe that. And they're waiting for you to sound like you have some damn sense and to know that this battle is a battle of economics. Understand? Economics first. Racial makeup second. Capitalism doesn't care what color you are. Always be mindful of that. Capitalism has one color, and it will use any ethnic person as pawns. This is what they do, and this is what we're seeing now. Because if you think Shaq isn't your enemy, you're dead ass wrong. If you think Curtis Jackson isn't your enemy, you dead ass wrong. If you think Stephen A. Smith isn't your enemy, you are dead ass wrong. Simple as that. And they are as black as they come. It is a conditioning of the mind that shows you who will be in those foxholes with you. Gotta understand that. We say white for clarity, so you can have an idea of what it is. But trust and believe, white and black are mind states. It's just what it is. It's a state of mind. And when you see others and you trying to figure out, well, are they faking or are they really real? When you see somebody like a Tina Marie and you looking and you like, is she really real or is that fake? You question a person after you see the end results of their actions. All right? Always understand that. And our queen, right here, had many, many allies to this very day. If she had to depend on only us, a nigga would have sent her back, straight up. You seen the nigga Al Sharpton trying to get her back, working tirelessly with the feds to try to draw her out. Trust and believe that. And if you don't watch them niggas, because niggas are grown and made, that is why they're a difference. That's why they know who to call at. Them niggas would have had her back in a jail cell somewhere. Believe that. So, enough of my commentary. You know? But you have to know where I stand. Have to know. I'm very different. Very different. All right? And so we will begin. Yes, Ma. And that's where we shall pick back up. You know, I believe, you know, in my book is page 4. I don't know where everybody else is with it. But we're going to, you know, move along with it. More commentary, huh? 16's on deck. And again, everyone, I do, like I said, I'm learning this YouTube space. But I do know that super chat, I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate the super chats, but trust and believe whatever you give through the super chat, YouTube takes 40% or more. I'm not sure what it is. I have not seen anything from it yet. So if at all possible, should you want to bless our community, Cash App. All right? Again, this is how we move and make sure that we support others in there. All right? Okay. So we finished at her last sentence that I got through was her saying, it's 2 a.m. Oh, you overseas. The UK people, my UK comrades. Salute. Why? No. No, because this is 8:30. It shouldn't be 2 in the morning. Yeah, you in the UK, it's 2 in the morning? Okay. Um, I ended yesterday, well, last week. Damn, it feels like yesterday. I'm on social media so much. And she said, at last, the ambulance was moving. If I live, I remember thinking I'll only have one arm. And that was the end of the paragraph. So she has been shot on the turnpike. Excuse me. She has been shot on the turnpike and she's been beaten. All right? She's been beaten. So now they're picking her up. She noticed that one of her comrades is dead. She knows that. She sees him, he's dead. And we begin. The hospital. Hey, Ty. Salute. Salute. UK is definitely in the building. The hospital is glaring white. Everybody I see is white. Everyone seems to be waiting. All at once, they are in motion. Blood pressure, pulse, needles, etc. Two detectives come in. I know they're detectives because they look like detectives. One of them has a face like a bulldog with jowls hanging down the sides. They supervise the nurse as she cuts off my clothes. After a while, one of them dabs my fingertips with what looks like Q-tips. Later, I found out that this is the neutron activation test to determine whether or not I have fired a weapon. Another one then tries to fingerprint me, but he has trouble because my hand is dead. So, do you see how law enforcement moves when they believe that they know who you are and they have you? They don't even allow the medical staff to perform what is necessary to assure that you are surviving. All right? Salute. Yes, Foxy. It says salute. BX in the building. So her hand is dead as she thought, as she knew. She said, if I do survive, if I live, I'll only have one arm. Because that's how much pain she was in from the shots. So as you can see, they wasn't concerned about her medically. And they won't be concerned about your ass either. So understand what you're signing up for. Trust and believe. Understand what you're signing up for. Then she hears, give me the dead man's kit. He puts my fingers into spoon-looking things used to fingerprint dead people. They begin to ask me questions, but a bunch of doctors come in, all right? Bunch of doctors come in. One of them, who appears to be the head doctor, examines me. He pokes and prods, throwing me around like a rag doll. Then, like he is going to kill me, he jerks me around so that I'm on my stomach. The pain is like an electric shock. I moan. Don't cry now, girlie, he says. Why do you shoot the trooper? Why do you shoot the trooper? Now, this is a doctor, or someone she believes is a doctor. And his concern is, why did you shoot the trooper? What's the next flashlight that should come into your mind when we're speaking of war? When we're speaking of liberation and we're speaking of revolution, what do we need? Right? We need our own doctors. We need our own medical facilities. So, when you have all these conscious folk online speaking all this shit and gibberish and rhetoric about Black Power and FBA and all this other terms and slick shit and non-FBA and boop-de-boo and all this other shit, how many doctors do they have lined up for this supposed war? How many doctors do they have? We'll get to Revolutionary Warfare by Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah, we definitely gonna get there. Trust and believe that. I'm saying, in this day of the pandemic, I want y'all to understand something. That you see melanated doctors advocating for an agenda under the banner of this flag instead of a medical oath. Understand what you're lining up yourself for. Understand? All right? Don't cry now, girlie, he says. Why do you shoot the trooper? Why do you shoot the trooper? I want to kick him in the face. I want to kick him in his face. I know he would kill me if he had the chance. I can see the scalpel slipping. One of the other doctors says something about calling the operating room. Hell no, is all I can think of. Hell no. After a while, they leave. Then a black nurse comes into the room. I am glad as I could be to see her. She bends over me. What is your name? She asks. What is your name? I think about it and decide to say nothing. If I tell them my name, they will know who I am and they will kill me for sure. What is your name? She keeps asking, enunciating each syllable in the way that people talk to someone who has trouble hearing or understanding. What is your name? What is your address? Where do you live? Her voice is getting louder. We need your signature, miss, she says, waving a piece of paper in front of me. We need your permission for treatment in case we have to operate. She repeats the same thing over and over. Who shall we contact in case of emergency? I think that's kind of funny. What is your name? Where do you live? I close my eyes, wishing she would go away. She keeps right on talking. I drift off, thinking about my arm. It is still there. What is your jewel from this? What is your jewel? She's telling you, she's lining it up. Something I always say. Never speak to no one. Don't tell anybody shit. Nothing. That is a lie. They have taken an oath to preserve life. If you are on a bed, shot, open wounds, shot, their job is to preserve life. That's it. They'll find out who the hell you are later. But at that time, they are supposed to save life. Let us be mindful though, this is the 70s. And you will see the same type of treatment today in 2021. Especially if you don't have insurance that they believe that they can benefit from immediately. So if you are impoverished and have different types of cares, as far as insurance, you get the worst of the worst. Trust and believe, I'm always going to show you that this is a continuous war. We are still in the war of 1812. civil war, revolution. This is a war. This is a war that stretches millennia because it is a war between what is right and just, what is foul and oppressive and murderous. Same timelines with the same behaviors, because if it wasn't, it would not still exist. We would still have different spaces that we fall under instead of this banner of us still being secondary and even third and fourth in the terms of humanity when we're dealing with these people. That is where the layers come in. So when people prove to be an asset, an ally to these individuals, these institutions, and these systems, they are enemies to you. Pick up on the jewels as we go through, right? They want your information. They want to know who you are. So these are the things that we were being taught through political education class. These are the things that you are taught when you are in the BLA. These are the things that you are taught. You do not expose who you are. Shit. In the regular army, they tell you that. Give nothing. Name, rank, and serial number once you get caught behind enemy lines. But here in this corporation, we already behind enemy lines. So they know you. People know who I am. Understand that. So I don't got nothing to say. Kill me and let me go. Either or. That's it. Kill me or let me go. No discussion. That's how I always went through the system. Even in the criminal, savage lifestyle. Fuck, I ain't got nothing to say. Put the cuffs on and let's go. Rock and roll. And if you get an opportunity to print me, then you'll find out. Fuck a judge. I don't care about none of that shit. Don't tell on yourself. Allow them to build whatever they have to build. And if you're dealing with what we are dealing with, trust and believe our enemies, our spies, our coons, our counter revolutionaries, right? People who are against us, already told them who you are. Keep your mouth shut. Not going to free you. You can't convince them that you are not great, that you are not God. They know you. They know your glow. They know your presence. They know your energy. They can see it in your eyes. They know you're not one of them because you're not broken. You're not defeated. You're not on TV talking crazy against your families for a bag. They understand that. Shh. Silence. Silence. All right? I drift off thinking about my arm. It is still there. Nerve damage. Paralyzed, I heard them say. It has never occurred to me. It isn't that bad, I remember thinking. I can live with that if I have to. More voices, other voices, grating my ears, and my consciousness. She can talk, one is saying. The doctor says she can talk. Where were you going? What is your name? Where were you coming from? Who was in the car with you? How many of you were there? I know she can hear me. I keep my eyes closed. One of them leans down real close to me. I feel his breath on my cheek and smell it. I know you can hear me, and I know you can talk. And if you don't hurry up and start talking, I'm going to bash your face in for you. This is a woman. This is a sister. small in stature and frail, who has been shot and dragged across the turnpike, barely alive. And this bastard is talking about smashing her face in. For all we know, he's still alive and still in the police department. All right? My eyes fly open in spite of myself. Immediately, they are all in my face, throwing question after question at me. I say nothing. After a while, I close my eyes again. Oh, she doesn't feel good, one of them says in a sweet, mocking voice. Where does it hurt? Here? 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 With each here comes a crash. I look around wildly, but no one is there. More thumps and punches, but none of them hurts as bad as my chest is hurting. I try to scream, but I know immediately that that's a mistake. My chest erupts, and I think I'm going to die. They go on, questions and bangs. I think they will never stop. A woman's voice, telephone, thank you, one of them says, giving me an ugly grin. They are gone. Another pig comes in, a black pig, in uniform. He comes closer, and I see that he is not a cop, but a hospital security guard. He stands not too far from where I am lying, and I can see he is not at all hostile. His face breaks into a kind of reserved smile, and very discreetly, he clenches his fist and gives me the power sign. That man will never know how much better he made me feel at that moment. Do you understand? Now put yourself in her space. And see, I know the feeling. Because when you are captured and you see somebody and you're not sure of their stance because they're in a uniform, right? Of the enemy. And they acknowledge you and know who you are. No feeling in the world like that. Because then you know that you still have a little bit more time left. Understand that? There's nothing like that. Nothing like that. That is what it means to be revolutionary. That is what it means for people to know who you are because of your work, because of what you do. They know your integrity. And even from afar, whether you're in New York, whether you're in Massachusetts, whether you're in Illinois, whether you're in Cali, whether you're in London, you know your tribe. And you just wait for the opportunity to acknowledge each other. And that in itself is breath. That in itself is life. That's what this is about. That is why you build. That is why we network. That is why we speak. So we can know our tribe and fight. Understand that. That's what you are here for. So you sit in silence and you plot and you stand firm. You stand firm in your decisions. You stand firm in your belief. And we will know each other. We will know each other. That's why I don't get triggered online. I know them bastards who are not with us. Easy. Easy. The detectives come back with a nurse. They begin to move the stretcher. My mind races. Where are they taking me now? The only place I can think of is the operating room. When we arrive at the x-ray room, I'm thankful because I have to move around. The x-rays are painful, but the technician is cool. X-rays are over, and I am rolled down the hallway, determined to keep my eyes closed. All of a sudden, flashes of light. My eyes pop open. This time, they are taking my picture. The police photographer asks, "Do you want to give us a smile? Come on, give us a smile." No, don't you want to give us a smile? Come on, give us a smile. I close my eyes again. We are moving. The stretcher stops. One of the pigs tells the nurse he has a headache. She volunteers to get him something. The stretcher is moving again. Where the hell are they taking me? Again, the light is changing, and although my eyes are closed, I can feel the difference. It feels like I'm in the dark. I can't take it any longer, and I look. The room is dark, but there's some light. My eyes slowly adjust. There's something lying next to me. I can see an outline, something in plastic. Something my mind slowly realizes that it is a man in a plastic bag, and that man is Zai. My body stiffens, my mind spins. So now these bastards just put her next to her comrade, right? Showing her comrade is dead. One of the troopers says, "That's what's going to happen to you before the night is over if you don't tell us what we want to know." I say nothing, but inside I'm raging. Dogs, swine, filthy pigs, dirty, slimy scum, bastards, son of bitches. I rage on and on. I wouldn't tell you the right time of day. I remember thinking, I wouldn't tell you that shit stinks. The night crawls along. Nurses, doctors, and troopers. I'm still scared, but I am just as angry and evil as I am scared. The detectives are in and out, and when nobody's there except them, they get in their digs and bangs. But after a while, I don't think about them too much. I'm thinking about living, about surviving, thinking about what is going to happen next. They are going to do what they are going to do, and there isn't much I can do about it. I just have to be myself, stay as strong as I can, and do my best. That's all. There is nowhere to run, and I am in no shape to try. I realize how isolated and vulnerable I am. What if I really do need an operation? I need help from the outside world. I have to try to get word out to someone. The black nurse has been back and forth, asking me the same questions. Each time I have closed my eyes until she goes away. I decide to ask her to get in touch with my people the next time she comes in. Maybe she will be cool. She is my best shot. The guard is long gone. So you understand that? They're still beating her every chance they get. And you see how vulnerable you are once you're captured. So I have to ask my comrades, my people, why would anyone volunteer themselves to jail? Why would anybody still be hustling in the street? Why would anybody who has a record deal, or a Hollywood deal to do films, or an athlete. Why would they volunteer themselves into the arms of their enemy, right? By doing criminal acts, felonious bullshit, selling drugs, drunk driving, beating on a wife or a significant other, scams, all type of stupid shit. You volunteer yourself to jail. And not only is jail deadly and dangerous by our own hands, but by the staff's hands. And now, because of the pandemic, from a virus. So how stupid is it when one encourages criminal lifestyle? When you make movies based on narcotic dealers, when we over sensationalize people who have no other notoriety other than being a criminal. Why do that to the babies? Why allow certain legacies to continue? How disingenuous is that to us as a people to point to that as a measuring stick of who we are? That's what I'm talking about when I say don't glorify, don't edify these motherfuckers in entertainment. You ass out in there. I doze off for a little while. When I wake up, a nurse and a priest are standing over me. The priest is mumbling and seems to be rubbing something on my forehead. At first, I don't understand what he is doing. Then it dawns on me. Last rites. Last rites are for the dying. Go away, I say out loud. I don't have the strength to say anything else, but I know I don't want anybody's last rites. I'm not going to die. And even if I do die, I'm not going to die. Nobody's a hypocrite. The black nurse comes back and starts her questions again. Before she can get started good, I beckon her to come closer. There's no one else around. I ask her to get in contact with my lawyer, who is also my aunt. I give her my name and ask her to make the call herself. She has a hard time understanding me and keeps asking me to repeat my name. I can barely talk, and each time she asks me to repeat myself, I feel like screaming. Then it occurs to me that Assata is foreign to her ears. She has probably never heard the name before, so I give her my slave name. Then I give her the number, and she's off and running. 2 minutes later, the detectives are on me like white on rice. They threaten and plead, reason and offer me the world. They hurl question after question at me, acting crazier than before. One plays the nice cop who is trying to save me from the bad cop. If only I will cooperate. I am tired and their act is even tireder. I can see exhaustion in their faces. The whole night is coming down on me. Their voices begin to sound far away. I can't take it anymore. They can go to hell. I am going to sleep. This time, I'm going out for real. When I wake up, the stretcher is moving. After a little while, we arrive at the intensive care part of the hospital. The place is packed with nurses. I am elated. All I want to do is sleep. Soon I'm drifting off again. I wake up and it's the next day. The doctors are making their rounds. One of them, an intern I think, is very kind to me. They examine me and spend the rest of the morning doing blood tests, x-rays, EKGs, etc., etc. So I learn that they're going to move me again. I also find out that I'm in Middlesex County Hospital. I hear the nurses talking. They are glad that I am being moved because the police are driving them crazy. So understand what it's like once you're going through this. All right? Understand what this is like. I don't think people can really truly grasp that if you haven't been in a hospital setting where somebody has been shot, if you have been never shot yourself, if you haven't had police interrogation. When you combine all of that, you have to be very resilient. You have to be very militant. You have to be very strong in order to go through that. A lot can break you and cause you to move out of the space of reality when you're dealing with it like that. And again, this is 1973. This is not 83. This is not 93. Any one of those individuals there was prepared to kill her right then on the spot. Whether it be a cop, whether it be a doctor, whether it be a nurse, anybody. When you're that vulnerable and away from your tribe, all things can happen. And we have to, again, move in spaces that we are in control of, which is why I always say, never be alone. If you are alone, make sure you have these devices on you so you can speak to someone immediately, so people have eyes on you, so everyone knows where you are. It's very important. That's what has to be built amongst our people, where we all know each other. We all know what each other is doing. We all know whether we're all moving on code or not, because we're responsible to and for each other. They do it. Why don't we? Because we don't value each other like that. We don't understand that we need each other like that. So we allow each other to move freely, aimlessly, as if we're not behind enemy lines. Just that simple. Our lack of love and concern for one another is going to keep us right where we're at until they end up knocking all of us off. And that is truth. That is no fear mongering. That is an absolute fact. If we do not learn and move and exercise specific strategies to keep us alive, we'll perish at any given time. It don't take them to keep thinking that, they have these agendas and it's an agenda and this agenda and agenda. They could wipe us out in 6 months. 6 months. Exactly. Before we go to, right, we got to knock off the enemies in our hood. Trust and believe. They don't need an agenda. Like we always say, on No Filter, they could have killed everybody with them damn Popeye's chicken sandwiches. They could have killed everybody at Wingstop just because Rick Ross owns them. They go to kill. Now all of a sudden they got no more wings. They got thighs. They can inject something in the thighs and knock people off by the thousands weekly. They don't have to have these specific false agendas. And you pay attention to them for what? Get on your job. Speak. What are we going to do? Stop being reactionary and waiting for a counterpunch. When you are prepared, you can punch on your own. You can set off specific battles. Fuck these black leaders got y'all being reactionary and fearful with no words of encouragement, with no motivating words, with no words of self-love. Motherfuckers is not doing you no good at all. At all. Not at all. Not doing you an ounce of good. They're keeping you subservient. They need you to be subservient so they can fester and eat off you as well. That's the name of the game. Because if you need them, they good. The minute you don't need them, the minute you don't need them, they done off. So let's build each other up with consistency, with transparency, with research, with studying, excuse me, studying people who are fought and won. Why do you want to keep studying somebody who's losing or lost? What the fuck is that? Excuse my language, but what is that? What is that? There are hundreds of people with a million different winning strategies who have won. But she's the first, so we're going to study her. And it's basic. Basic principles, the basic foundations of being a liberator is in this book. And as we move further ahead, you will start seeing the layers as they become exposed to you into what made her gotta be one of the greatest liberators that we've ever had. So that's my pledge. I don't pledge to anything other than arms. But I follow Assata. I follow the comrade George L. Jackson, Jonathan Jackson. I follow Huey. I follow Kwame Nkrumah and Kwame Ture. Winnie Mandela. Thomas and Cora. I don't play. People who fought and won. And then through the intelligence of our elders, right? Dr. John Henry Clark. Come on now. Come on now. That's what we have to have. Those who they don't speak about. Because they know it will raise your consciousness and allow you to remain militant. If she can do it, you damn sure can do it. Understand that. That's where we're at with it. That's where we're at with it. So, and we're not moving as quickly as we could be moving, you know. We talking about only 2 days, and where we at? We're only on the eighth page of a 274-page piece. You understand? And it's a beautiful thing because as it comes through, as we move in the consciousness, it gets solid. Solid. It's a whole different space when we're doing like this and we're engaging. Totally different space. Totally different feeling, different energy. There's a love that comes from this that no one can take from you. And you can replay this shit right before you go to sleep and have it in your ears and play it for the babies. Because we moving. And there's no bullshit and we don't have time to waste. You dig? So, yeah, it's just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling how they did her. You understand? So let's continue. When they come to move me, it looks like a police parade. The rooms I am moved to are called the Johnson Suite. I can't believe it. I have never imagined that hospitals have rooms like this. There's a sitting room, a huge hospital-equipped room where I am kept, a den, a kitchen, a full bathroom, and another little room whose purpose I will never learn. They transfer me to the bed and handcuff one of my legs to the side rail. I keep looking around. It is elegant and clearly for rich people. I'm probably the first black person who has ever been in this room. And the only reason I am there is for security. They have sealed off the doors and no one can enter except through the sitting room next door where 3 state troopers are stationed, 2 regulars and 1 sergeant. The police radio in the room cackles all day long. A carload of suspicious-looking colors in a white Ford coupe. A suspicious-looking Negro walking near the hospital in a blue jacket and sneakers. No suspicious-looking white people are reported. From listening to the police talk next door and to the radio, I learned that the hospital is saturated with state troopers. They seem to be under the impression that somebody is going to try and break me out. I feel better. The Demerol has me flying a little and makes it easier for me to lie in the contoured position I am forced into because of the cuff on my leg. Later that afternoon, it begins again. Detectives and more detectives, questions and more questions. This time, the questions are different. Now they want to know about the Black Liberation Army. How big is it? What cities is it in? Who is in it? Etc., etc. But the main focus of their questions centers around that guy that got away. I am delighted. I figured that Sundiata is somewhere safe by now, cooling out. They are more careful where and how they hit me now. I guess they don't want to leave any marks. One sticks his fingers in my eyes. I don't know what he has on his fingertips, but whatever it is burns like hell. I think I'm going to be blind forever. He says he will keep doing it until I am completely blind. I close my eyes and hold them as tight as I can. He strikes me a few more times. Some of the stuff gets into my eyes anyway. Burning tears pour down from my face and my whole head is throbbing. I think he's going to keep on, but he begins to curse me, calling me all kind of nigger bitches. Finally, he and the others leave. On one of those first days, a white doctor comes to examine me. He acts very nice, sweet as pie. He examines me slowly, the whole time making friendly conversation. I wonder what kind of specialist he is since I haven't seen him before, and I know he isn't one of the regulars. He says he knows how terrible I must feel and makes a big deal of protesting that I am chained to the bed. He keeps on talking and, after a while, pulls a chair close to the bed. Then he starts to ask friendly little questions. The conversation goes something like this. Those guys on the turnpike are rough. They'll give you a ticket for anything. I take the turnpike every day. You live in Jersey? I live in Newark. Have you ever been there? You must really be lonely up here. I bet you really need someone to talk to. I went to medical school in New York. You're from there, aren't you? I get suspicious and say nothing to him. I tell him I want to go to sleep and he leaves. I never saw him again, but to this day I'm convinced he was some kind of police or FBI agent. So as y'all can see, right? As y'all can see, it was given it to her. First 2 or 3 days. Not to mention, and we'll get into that later, that she was already on the run. All right? So, it's just crazy. It's crazy. So, know exactly what we are up against. Trust and believe. You know, when you see me dialoguing and speaking, listen to what I'm saying. Some things you take very literal. Some things I said figurative. But listen, broaden your scope. Look at what information I am giving. And then listen for the information that I'm not giving. Through all the dialogues, I don't care what you see me on, whose platform you see me on, anywhere on social media, whether it's on my Facebook, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on my IG, whether I'm on YouTube, on anybody's spaces, listen. I'm giving you something, a piece to the blueprint, a piece to the map. I study different. I research different. I apply what I learned different because I'm coming from a space of true love for my people. And soon they will acknowledge who I am. Trust and believe. They will acknowledge who I am. And at that point, then the fight takes a turn. But you have to be, you must be fully engaged in it. There can be no question, no hesitation on where you stand with this. Right? So, as we, breathe out until next week, I want y'all to continue reading. Continue reading, I'm glad that people have went out and ordered it, and I'm glad your books came as quickly as they did. Hey, Albert, respect from Germany. What part of Germany? Is Wiesbaden still the same? I'm glad everybody ordered your books. This is going to be our book club book for Saturday night book club. Hey, if anybody is on a different level, you may be able to start one during the week as well, even though I have clients for anger management and things like that. We could get a little half hour to an hour in. Dusseldorf. Oh man, that's a beautiful city. Dusseldorf is a beautiful city. So salute to you. I was in Mainz at Lee Barracks. That's where I was stationed. And I fought on a boxing team in Fitton Airfield. You know, France in the chat. Hello, France. France is in the chat, and I just watched an interview with the daughter of Frantz Fanon, his daughter. Yes, Frantz Fanon, his daughter. So, there's still, again, there is still so many people who are in our tribe, and we shall get together and meet. I want you not to be distracted by the tricks and bullshit that our enemies have lined up, the theatrics, the false narratives, the black people that they throw in front of you to deter you, to steer you in the wrong direction. We're going to go through all that. That's anytime you have people who are serious about changing their conditions, they send enemies at you in the most familiar of your adversaries, those who happen to be the most familiar with you. You dig? So I may slide on over to Instagram for a little, well, I gave a Q&A here last night. I may give a quick Q&A over there, depending on how that Cash App is popping and things like that. And I want everybody to know that, again, we are responsible for and to each other. We are each other's tribe. We have to remain militant, keep in touch with each other. Hey, Miss Chocolate, what's up? So yeah, again, I think I'll bounce over to Instagram and cause a little ruckus and shit. Go over there and see what's good. Again, love each other, support each other, really, really support each other. Pull up out of these systems and seek counsel, coaching, encouragement, if need be. Told you all my social media is public. Inbox me, DM me, email me, I don't care what it is. Never feel that you are alone in this. And we will win, because we must. Our people paved the way. They showed us. They showed us. You ain't never late. You could always play back. Play it back while you sleep. Shit. Play it back when you making love. I don't, whatever. You play the shit back. You ain't never late. We all here. You ain't late. You alive. And you resilient. All right? And you're chocolate as hell. So you ain't never late. All right? We getting ready to go to Instagram and cause some shit. So everybody slide on over. Again, I appreciate. Share the vid. Don't harbor it for yourself and hold it. Share the vid. You dig what I'm saying? Subscribe. Encourage everybody to subscribe. I don't know why you got clowns that's coming out after me and they soaring with their subscription. Nah, you dig what I'm saying? So we gonna see each other Saturday for this part. But I see y'all every day. That's what I'm saying. Be with me every damn day. All right? That's what we do. You dig? So salute. Off the IG. We keep something light on IG. You know? Talk about some other things over there. I love my people. Don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Salute.